Tesla is claiming it's mastered one of the most notorious environmental challenges in electric vehicle manufacturing, that is, recycling its lithium-ion batteries. Elon Musk has said for years, "Oh yeah, we're going to take old Teslas into one side of the factory and bring new Teslas out of the other side." Well, that's always been a dream of Elon Musk. Have you ever seen a stack of squashed, pancaked old cars piled in the corner of an automotive recycling yard, just waiting to be hauled away to a metal scrap yard? It's a sad sight. But even sadder is the fact that each of those squashed cars probably contains small quantities of gold that nobody bothered to pull out. And that problem is about to become even bigger, because with every passing year, more and more electronics are getting shoehorned into modern cars. Within a few years, cars, especially electric and hybrids, are going to contain bigger and bigger quantities of gold. Remember, every printed circuit board that's found in a car contains small amounts of gold that can be extracted and recycled. That means that in 5 or 10 years, every Tesla that is heading to the scrap pile will contain a lot of gold, not to mention the cadmium and lithium that their batteries contain. That explains why Tesla has a plan in place to reclaim and recycle cars that are old and have been totaled in accidents. The components that make up an electric car literally stay in the car for the lifetime of the vehicle, which may be between 15 to 20 years. As the Tesla Roadster 1 was announced October 2007, with production starting in February-March of 2008, these vehicles are not due to reach end of life until 2023 to 2028. The metals, the battery, and the electronics of some of the vehicles are all ready to be recycled, however, due to literally a handful of cars coming back at this early stage during the initial vehicle life cycle. Tesla hasn't had the ability to recycle and reuse the parts at high volume. Unlike fossil fuels, which release harmful emissions into the atmosphere that are not recovered for reuse, materials in a Tesla lithium-ion battery are recoverable and recyclable. Battery materials are refined and put into a cell and will still remain in the cell at the end of their life, when they can be recycled to recover its valuable materials for reuse over and over again. Extending the life of a battery pack is a superior option to recycling for both environmental and business reasons. For those reasons, before decommissioning a consumer battery pack and sending it for recycling, Tesla does everything it can to extend the useful life of each battery pack. Any battery that is no longer meeting a customer's needs can be serviced by Tesla at one of our service centers around the world. Tesla claims that none of the scrapped lithium-ion batteries go to landfilling and 100% are recycled. How cool is that? Tesla has found that partnering with environmentally conscious recyclers, they are able to recycle their battery packs profitably without unsustainable government incentives. They are ultimately trying to recycle the product back to the original raw materials so the material flows in a truly circular loop. Tesla will use the closed-loop system that optimizes the materials for new battery production. Not only is it better for the environment, but it is actually cheaper than buying new raw materials. The closed-loop battery recycling process at Gigafactory 1 presents a compelling solution to move energy supply away from the fossil fuel-based practice of take, make, and burn to a more circular model of recycling end-of-life batteries for reuse over and over again. Currently, when it comes to the Tesla battery recycling, the process is a slightly involved one that tries to avoid landfills. The combined weight of all the batteries in every Tesla weigh approximately 1,000 pounds, and so recycling makes sense. Electronics are removed, tested, and reused. Wires and metals are recycled locally, with large sums of electronic modules sent off to the Toxico Materials Management Center. Lithium modules are frozen with liquid nitrogen to prevent further chemical reactions. From there, they are shredded and crushed into tiny pieces for further screening and separation into fluff, cobalt, copper, and slurry. Specifically, the copper cobalt is sold to recovery centers to be broken down into cobalt, nickel, copper, and aluminum. The slurry is reused for appliance coatings. Propylene glycol is recycled locally after it's removed from the cooling tubes. For this purpose, Tesla works with the Kinsbursky brothers in the US, whereas in Europe, they're working with Umicore. In the US, Tesla has indicated that they plan to set up a battery exchange system where customers can enjoy credits for returning used battery modules. These kinds of incentives are a great way to ensure that the public is as committed to the process of battery recycling as the companies who provide their cars. For Tesla to have mastered lithium-ion recycling would mean the company is drastically reducing its carbon footprint, and perhaps start to reduce the mining needed to make electric cars and other electronic batteries. By creating a closed-loop process for reusing the materials that go into its cars, the company would ensure it only ever has to extract a finite amount of lithium from the earth, which can be recycled to infinity, reducing its reliance on mines that occupy large swaths of land, use large volumes of water, and may come with yet unknown health impacts. What's most transparent here is that there's a need for quick thinking and continuing scientific research in order to address the potential issues of lithium batteries in the future. If electric vehicles are to become the norm rather than simply a replacement in cities, the end-to-end process will need to be streamlined and made as efficient and cost-effective as possible. Almost all the parts of a Tesla car or any other vehicle can be recovered, with a recycling rate greater than 90% for a typical vehicle. The most recycled parts of a car include tires, windshield glass, batteries, steel and iron, wheels, radiators, transmissions, rubber hoses, carpets, car seats, belts, oil filters, and mats. Every year in the U.S., about 220 million old tires are generated, with an 80% recycling rate. Recycled tires are often used in pavement bases to make new roadways. Recycled glass from autos is used to create tile flooring, glass beads, porcelain, countertops, and jewelry. Recycling 1 ton of glass can save around 10 gallons of oil from getting employed in the production of new glass. In fact, Tesla also recycles their leather seats to make Apple iPhone cases. Tesla has launched an update on its full self-driving computer website, detailing the complementary camera upgrades. If you have purchased full self-driving capability and have early production cameras on your Model S or Model X vehicle built prior to September 2017, you are eligible to receive complimentary camera replacements. Only the early production cameras will be replaced with cameras with a different type of color sensor. Tesla explained that camera replacements are not needed on Model 3 vehicles. Beginning in November 2021 within the Tesla app, customers were being invited to schedule service appointments for camera replacements. Tesla is working through supply constraints, and the invitations will be staggered as supply allows. Invitations will be sent first to vehicles with the highest safety scores containing Intel Atom infotainment processors, and then to those containing NVIDIA Tegra processors. Tesla will replace the following cameras: forward-facing cameras, rearward-looking side cameras, and forward-looking side cameras. Some vehicles may have a mix of different camera types, and only the early production cameras will be replaced with cameras with a different type of color sensor. Camera replacements can take up to an hour to finish and can be completed by a mobile technician or at a Tesla service center. These camera replacements are required to access a continuously expanding suite of full self-driving capability features. So go get it if you own an old Tesla. The company's latest environmental marketing materials claim that it began developing an in-house recycling center by its Gigafactory in Sparks, Nevada in late 2020 for processing end-of-life batteries as a supplement to existing third-party contracts. With improvements to manufacturing facilities, Tesla is driving down the amount of waste generated per vehicle and has decreased manufacturing waste by 50% in new facilities, such as Shanghai's Gigafactory. The company is advancing the same downward trend with water and energy intensiveness in manufacturing. These efficiency improvements complement the overarching strategy to actively implement circular economy principles and consider all other options before opting for battery recycling. CTO of Tesla, J.B. Straubel, has been explicit about the importance of this for the electric car manufacturing industry, and it's impossible to overstate the influence that Tesla has on every other car manufacturer. Also, plans have been made for a Tesla battery swapping station, which will hopefully encourage drivers to be more environmentally conscious. The automaker also plans to develop an EV battery that can be recycled many times, potentially lasting up to 1 million miles. Many companies are chosen by Tesla as their vehicle recycling partner, giving last owners of Tesla cars somewhere to recycle them in line with the law. So while right now the process is far from perfect, the good news is that the future is looking greener than ever. Well, that's all from this video. What do you think? By implementing all these strategies, will Tesla ever succeed in achieving the greener future for the planet? Tell us your ideas in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to Techrumor for more thought-provoking tech videos.